Town Hall Seattle and Bushwick Book Club Seattle. It's my pleasure to welcome you. We're really glad to see you here in person and watching virtually. As we get underway, I would like to acknowledge that our institution stands on the unceded traditional territory of the Coast Salish people, particularly the Duwamish. We thank them for the continued use of the natural resources of their ancestral homeland. So we are excited to partner with Bushwick Book Club to present a portion of their season on the Town Hall stage. Be sure to tune in online and in person on March 16th for their next event with performances inspired by I Sing the Salmon Home by Irina Priest. As part of our Arts and Culture series, tonight's event is sponsored by For Culture, Arts Fund, and the Seattle Office of Arts and Culture. Bushwick is also supported by For Culture and the Seattle Office of Arts and Culture. Thanks to all our sponsors for making tonight's event possible. Finally, Town Hall and Bushwick Book Club are member-supported organizations, so thanks to all the members that are watching. Tonight, Bushwick, yay, okay, thank you. Tonight, Bushwick brings together a group of talented performers in creative response to Aesop's Fables. Please welcome tonight's MC, Sailor Sinclair.
Inspiration from the page, now translated for the stage. It don't matter what your age is, all the ages, right here at the Bushwick Book Club. Inspiration from the page, now translated for the stage. It don't matter what your age is, all the ages, right here at the Bushwick Book Club.
Hi there, everybody. Look at all of you out here this evening. It's so nice to see you all. Do you feel all warm and cozy with us inside? Not outside, but inside our beautiful space here at Town Hall. Welcome to Bushwick Book Club and to the space here at Town Hall. As Shirley said, my name is Sailor St. Clair. I have the pleasure of being your MC tonight. And by way of visual description, for those of you in the room who might just like to hear people describe clothes, and for those of you at home who might also like to hear people describe clothes, I am a white woman with red hair. I am wearing a cool red wrap dress that sort of takes you back to ancient Greece, and this amazing gold robe. I have a lot of rhinestones on, and I hope you all can enjoy all of that tonight. So, I want to just start out by asking who in this room has been to a Bushwick Book Club show before? Yeah, okay. That's a pretty good amount, but that wasn't everybody, which means that I kind of need to tell you a little bit about what's going to happen here tonight. So Bushwick Book Club, if the theme song did not clue you in, is where we take inspiration from the page and translate that to the stage through music. So every song that you are going to hear tonight is going to be inspired by our book of choice, which is Aesop's Fables this month. It's different every month. This year, it's all books that are vaguely related to animals. So, I'm sure that's cool for a very specific segment of you. You know who you are because you laughed at that joke. So, tonight, we are tasked with taking what we see on the page, these little stories that actually aren't as page-related as you might think, because these come to us from the oral tradition. And so really, if there's going to be any text that was eventually written down, but were, of course, first formed as stories, passed along orally, then that only makes sense for them to become things that we hear orally, right? That only makes sense for us to translate them into song, because that's most likely the way in which they were told in some capacity, right? To have a little bit of melody, a little bit of rhythm helps you remember. And part of the thing about Aesop's Fables is that we all grown up with these. If you grew up in the Western world, you've heard some version of these stories. And what these little stories allow us to do, because they are fables, right? A fable is fiction that points to the truth. And so, when we put a little song under that, that becomes all the more true, right? Songs are the little truths that we can't always say with words. But here tonight, we're going to put all that together, and we're going to create something really special. Does that sound great? I think it sounds pretty great. I'm excited to hear, every time I come down to play with Bushwick Book Club, I always pick the quote-unquote classic text. I'm your, classics girl here. So I'm always really excited to hear how these amazing musicians translate what they've read into song. And they're all going to tell you a little bit about their inspiration as they come up here tonight. But just a couple of things for you to know. As I mentioned, we're live streaming as well, so the energy that you all bring to this room is going to make people's living rooms feel that much more warm and awesome tonight. So your job is to make them feel like they're here. So can we just test that out really fast? How are you all feeling about being here tonight and hearing amazing music? Yes, there we go. That's perfect. Now I know our live stream friends can feel that and hear that too. So there's going to be two acts in the show tonight, so two sets with an intermission, and after intermission there will be a quiz, so pay attention. Because Wes will give you prizes if you have paid attention. It's like school, but it's more fun. I promise you it's more fun. And if you want to post about the show tonight, we really appreciate when you tell people on social media that you're here and that you're having a good time and having a cool experience in community with other cool people. You can use the hashtag Bushwick Book Club. Look at all of that on that screen. There's a whole bunch of other places where you can find out more info about future shows online. So shall we begin this evening with our first fable transformed into song? Are you all ready? Such a hesitant yes from the back. Yes, I think I am ready. All right, well, our first artists tonight are a little group for y'all. We've got a bunch of trios this evening in addition to our soloists, which is cool because there's going to be a lot of wonderful energy coming up on this stage. So this group of ladies are here to play for you, and they are here to do it with humor and harmony. I learned just now that they financed their first album by selling painted rocks, which, by the way, are a lot heavier than CDs. So here tonight to share with you some music inspired by Aesop's Fables. You've seen him before at some Bushwick shows like White Teeth. You may also remember them playing at Count of Monte Cristo. Please give it up for the Go Janes, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
So we'll give you our little description here. We are 3 white women in their 60s standing upright.
Way more than upright, dear.
More than upright.
Ready
Yes,
to deliver.
Ready to deliver. And I have like a fuzzy white thing on. Yeah.
I have a funky shirt on.
Yes, and Arnie has some cool red shoes on. So we'll tell you a little bit about this song. So we got the book, and we read it, sorta.
We read it.
We did read it.
We read it.
Eventually, we did read it all. But we were up in Juneau earlier last year in September, and we were going on a hike through this big, great, ancient forest, and we were talking about, what's the difference between a fairy tale and a fable? It's like fairy tales start like once upon a time and end happily ever after, and it has people in it. That's it. Fables have animals, end with a moral.
So many animals.
So many animals. And so Kathleen asked me, she said, so what's the deal with Aesop's Fables anyway? I said, well, I don't know. There's a lot of asses. A lot. There's a lot of asses in these fables. And then, we found ourselves in a thrift store in Juneau, and some piece of music was playing.
It was a funk song.
It was a funk song. And so we went out of the the thrift store, kind of doing this little funk thing.
Yeah.
So all of those things kind of combined, and it turned into not just a song, but a story song.
But really, the ball really got rolling when, in our struggling with coming up with lyrics, Arnie said,
"Oh, 3 asses and a duck walk into a bar."
and the thing just wrote itself. So we're giving a shout out to our friend Marianne Mormon, who could not be here tonight. We are sending her healing vibes. Can we give a little round of healing vibe applause for Marianne Moorman? One of our dear mentors and storyteller extraordinaire. So we are tipping our hat to Marianne with this song.
Yeah.
Ready?
1, 2, here we go.
Oh, when the ass walks in the room, oh, baby, walk away, walk away. Get up and walk away. When the ass walks in the room, oh, baby, walk away, walk away. Get up and walk away. Might be high noon, might be a full moon. You best be ready when the ass walks in the room. Might be a touch of gloom, might be a hint of doom. You best be ready, best be ready.
3 asses and a duck walk into a bar where a sad frog drowns his sorrows. The bartender, an old caterpillar, sets down another drink in front of him. Life can be rough sometimes, pal, she says. Thanks, ma'am, says the frog, weeping into his fresh drink. The duck sidles up close to him and asks,
What you drinking, sad guy, tell me what you're drinking. What you drinking, sad guy,
Scotch neat, replies the frog. The asses mock the frog, pointing and laughing. The duck's feathers ruffle, and she shoots the asses a stink eye. One falls out of his chair, braying about how some animals ought to buck up, stop asking for handouts, pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. A sense of shame washes over the sad frog. The bartender wants to throw the asses out on their asses, but she's a small business owner, and every guest is a shekel in the till. The asses grow so loud, the frog can't hear his own heart ache. He tries to throw a punch, but the duck rests a wing on the frog's hand and says, Nothing good ever comes from confronting an ass, sad guy. Let's just walk away. Let's just walk away.
Oh, when the ass walks in the room, oh, baby, walk away, walk away. Get up and walk away. Might be a touch of gloom, might be a hint of doom. You best be ready, best be ready.
Suddenly an ass leaps onto the bar to show off his big bag of gold coins. I have so many gold coins, he bellows. See my gold coins, all you sheep and cattle? Nobody has as many gold coins as me.
Might be a real buffoon, sucks all the air in the room.
The ass kicks over the sad frog's drink, and the bar animals go wild. But instead of going after the ass, they attack each other. Pigs bite cows, squirrels punch otters, and insects, spotting an opportunity, pierce everyone's hides. No one can tolerate anyone anymore. The bartender uses her 36 hands to break up the fight.
Don't cuss, don't bite. All hell's breaking loose tonight. 'Cause when the ass walks in the room, oh baby, walk away, walk away. Get up and walk away. When the ass walks in the room, oh baby, walk away, walk away. Get up and walk away.
As all the animals finally settle down, the frog realizes something important. He has feelings for the duck. With her wisdom, restraint, and exquisite moral strength, the duck, a little breathless by the sudden change in the frog, sets down her Chardonnay, gazes into his eyes, and is all like,
Why so happy?
is all like happy.
Why so happy? Sad guy. Why so happy?
Happy. The frog leans in close and whispers, I love you, duck.
Why so happy?
And I do want to walk away with you. Walk away. Walk away. Well, here's your moral, says the bartender, picking glass out of the chicken's tail feathers. No matter how bad things get, you don't have to be an ass. sings her nightly closing song as the bar empties. Hop, little frog, bark, little dog, crawl, little ant, sing, little gnat, jump, little hare, trot, little mare, happy little creatures everywhere. Run, little fox, stomp, little ox, eat, little mouse, get out of my house. You've had your fun and your cup of cheer. Now get your little asses out of here.
Keep it going for the Go Janes, everybody. Adorable. I feel like I've been to that bar once, maybe? I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember a lot of grad school because I was always at a bar. So, I feel like that probably is a true story for some people in this room, maybe. I want to offer to you tonight that if you want to keep track of the artists who are in this show, in addition to whatever we're projecting on the screen, you can find out more about them by scanning the digital program, which I think is a QR code on some of your tables, I think I saw. So if you want to follow folks on social media, that is a great place to find out more about them, find out their bios, find out what shows they've got coming up, and all of that good stuff. It is also, I believe, a good place to access the crossword puzzle. If you are a fan of crossword puzzles, like that one person over there who very loudly was excited about the crossword puzzle, if you are a fan of crossword puzzles, every show, there you go, you can scan right there. Amy Zoe makes a special custom Bushwick Book Club crossword puzzle. It is very cool, and you can play it just by scanning that QR code, and it will amuse you at least as much as a New York Times Sunday, or maybe more. I hope more, in fact. Well, our next artist tonight has another little song for you. She is a singer, songwriter, artist, and educator. She comes to us originally from New York, where she attended SUNY Purchase and earned an ill-advised music degree. Her words, not mine. She has opened for artists such as Mitski, Jenny Lewis, and Japanese Breakfast. And now she is here with us in Seattle, where she plays with Scarves, and you've heard some of their music if you are a fan of the podcast Welcome to Night Vale, or listen to KEXP like all cool people do. And she's been writing and performing with Scarves ever since. You've seen her before here at Bushwick shows like City of Orange and Phantom Toll Booth. So please welcome Nessa Grasing.
Thank you, everyone. To match a face to the resume, I'm a young, I think I'm young, brunette. And today I wore this sweater, this black turtleneck to try and get into this like wolfish mood, because my fable that I chose was the wolf and the crane. And there is a hungry, greedy wolf who gets a bone stuck in his throat and happens upon a crane who has a beak that's just the right size to poke down in and get that bone. So this song is his attempt to convince the crane to help him out. There you are. I've been looking for you. What's a crane doing in this part of the woods? No matter. Actually, I could use your help with something. I've been so hungry, starving in fact, with this bone in my throat. Try though I might, I simply can't get it out on my own. If you might help me with that beautiful beak, I might reward that good deed closer, leaning to see how I've been suffering. And wasn't it preordained that we should meet in this marvelous woods? Can't you see we could both be set free, you and me? I see reservation there in your eyes, though your wings may be stilled. You think I'm a monster, everyone does, but I could be more with the chance. And wasn't it ordained that we should meet in this marvelous woods? Don't you see we could both be set free, you and me, you and me.
Keep it going for Nessa Grasing, everybody. And again, you can find out more about places that she's playing next, projects that she's working on in the digital program. And I did want to point out one thing to y'all about that digital program, which is that if you've scanned it, there may be a couple of extra names on that program that will not be appearing here tonight. We had a few performers who just, they're just kind of going through it. There are some personal issues that they really needed to attend to, and so we're really sad that they can't join us here tonight, but if you all just kind of keep it in your hearts, we're thinking about all of them, and I hope you all are too. So if you see those names in the program, do please go ahead and follow their projects, find out where you can see them next. I'm sure you'll see them again here at a Bushwick show in the future. Which, by the way, Bushwick shows happen every month. They do not always happen here at Town Hall Seattle. The next show coming up is dedicated to Dave Pikey's Dog Man. So if you have read that as a human being or a human being who has a child that you read books to, in which case you have definitely read it, you can catch that at the Fremont Abbey on February 10th at 6 p.m. So if you really like Dog Man, if that's your jam, then that show's going to be your jam. So you should come put that on your calendar now and check it out. Our next artist tonight is a Bushwick regular. You've seen her at a whole bunch of shows here. Anne of Green Gables is a past one. Become America. She's done Ataka Witch. She's done the AWP event that Bushwick did. So you've seen her a whole bunch. And she's played in like a bazillion bands. Again, her words, not mine. A bazillion bands, that is a technical number. And she would know because musicians know things about numbers and all of that. Also, a gazillion fiddle and guitar students around the world. So like, she's done a lot. She's a very, very busy person. And she's probably also won a few awards that you have not even heard of. But most important of all to her is if you would ask her about her cat. I don't think she's going to sing you a song about a cat tonight, but the good news is that we can still talk about cats because her name is Cat Bula. Give it up for Cat Bula, everybody.
Yes, I am Cat Bula, and for those who are maybe missing some visual context and would like that filled in, Emily Persia is also on stage with me. Bushwick's own fabulous songwriter in her own right. And we are both millennial white women who wear glasses, and Emily is dressed like a conservative old lady, and I am dressed like a fuchsia asshole. Okay. So Aesop gives us a number of stories about wolves. This is another one. He tells us about a dog and a wolf, a domesticated dog and a wolf that are having a conversation. And the wolf's like, so wait, you just hang out here and somebody gives you food and you don't have to work or hunt, you just get food. And the dog's like, yeah, it's awesome, you should try it. And the wolf is like, I might have to do that. That sounds amazing. What is that around your neck? And the dog's like, oh, it's just a collar. It's like, why do you have a collar? And it's like, well, my person chains me up outside so that I don't run away. And the wolf is like, I'm good. I think I'm gonna not take that deal. And the moral that's given is that nothing is more important than freedom, which, given that Aesop was apparently a literal enslaved person, was probably a fairly easy and straightforward conclusion for him. I think it's not always as easy and straightforward for those of us who have not personally or epigenetically encountered enslavement. I got to thinking about my grandmother. She was 70 when I was born, and she made it just a few months shy of her 100th birthday, which means she had plenty of time to witness my adult choices and wonder whether they were good ones. She was also very polite, and I was polite, at least when talking to my grandma, but I started to wonder what would have happened if some of the subtext of those conversations had ever been tiptoeing into the words we were actually saying. So the song came out as a duet, and Emily has graciously agreed to play the part of my grandmother.
Wouldn't you like to have a man? Someone to care for you. Of course you'll care for him too. Wouldn't that make your life complete? Well, if you ask me, I think you'd quite enjoy a man.
Wouldn't you have liked to have a job? A place to get away from your man and be the parts of yourself he couldn't understand. Wouldn't that have made your life complete? Well, if you ask me, I think you'd quite enjoy a job. Your census records all say housewife,
and all you ever tell me is how you have been on tour.
Is housewife really how you judge the value of your life?
Is the fact that you play music the way you get your life worth?
Wouldn't it make you feel much safer? Wouldn't you be much more fulfilled? Wouldn't you feel more like a grown-up?
If you had someone dear,
if you had a career, I bet you would have loved a job like the one you quit when you found your man, a mommy who works for something he couldn't stand. What would it make the other men think of him?
don't you think you should find a man? You know they earn more. You know it's hard being poor. What happened to that one you brought here last year?
Shit, I'm sorry. It sucks you weren't allowed to have a job.
Shoot, I'm sorry. It stinks you cannot seem to keep a man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat Bula, and special guest Emily Persha. Oh boy. Did that hit you in a particular place where you're like, I've had that conversation with a relative myself and I feel seen and attacked by that song. Personally seen and attacked, my God. Doesn't that really just tell you about like the power of literature and music to speak to people in so many different ways, though? This is one of my favorite things about coming to hang out and host at Bushwick Book Club. I love listening to all of the stories our musicians tell about how little parts of the books, little parts of the stories sparked some kernel of inspiration and where that led. And sometimes they lead to some really strange and amazing places, and sometimes they lead to really real and soulful places. And that's just a wonderful encapsulation of what all of our individual journeys are as readers too, right? We're never all reading the same book or interpreting something in the same way. And that's what I think is so cool about being here. And I think that you are all here because you think that's cool too, right? Yeah. So Bushwick Book Club also has some merch, by the way, hanging out over there in this lovely kind of table and behind this curtain in my line of view. So there are some Bushwick Book Club items there. Sometimes some of our musicians have items that you can purchase. There are also prints of the season art by Barbie Stillman, which are so cool. So if you really responded positively to the poster and the graphic design that you saw for tonight's event, you might be able to take a print of that home with you tonight. So that's another great way to support the artists here is, of course, buying their merch, following them online, going to see them at other shows, all of that good stuff. So in our last bit of our first set tonight, we've got one more group for you, and they are making their first appearance here at Bushwick Book Club. So we've got some first timers with us tonight, which is awesome. This group is called Kuwaisiana, and they are an alt-rock trio. They're led by Kuwaiti-American songwriter Aziz. They sing in Arabic and English, because being multilingual is dope as hell. And they started as an 8-piece in New Orleans back during COVID times, and now they're here in Seattle with a whole new crew this year. So please give it up for Kuwaisiana.
Thank you, Sailor. Woo. Yeah, so we are Kuwaisiana. Really happy to be here. We are a trio. I'm kind of like an Arab version of Prince, if you will. That's kind of how I would describe myself, not as flamboyant. Yusuf looks a lot like me, because they're also Arab. A little bit taller, longer hair with pink highlights, very beautiful person. And then Brian is, how would you describe yourself? Usually his hair is just all over. But today we decided to tame the beast a little bit.
Yeah, you know, we're taming the sound, acoustic, kind of tame the beast as well. But if you look on our Instagram, you'll see kind of what we look like. But yeah.
So the fable that we decided to stick with is Fox and the Grape. There's a lot of good ones, but that was the one that we really connected with. And I really worked to internalize the whole kind of like point of the story, which is things that are out of reach, they leave a bad taste in your mouth after you pursue them, or you kind of look at it from afar and you kind of like, oh, I would never like want to do something like that. So as I started to reflect on what makes me sour and what's something that was potentially an avenue for me, I started to think about all these people. Like a subcategory of social media influencers that are kind of paid to think and say certain things. So I just kind of like went that route of, singing about these kind of like puppet individuals and how I could never be a puppet because, there's something morally there, but maybe there's an element of like, yay, maybe you don't really have what it takes to like be a YouTube vlogger or a TikTok influencer or something. So I internalized it that way. So this song is called Puppet. make sure I get the sound on. I could never be a puppet. I just wanna be a puppet. Pay up and tell me what to think. I can just be a puppet. Look at what the fox brought back in its mouth. Parables from the ancestors brought to life. It's out of reach, but I still want a piece of it. The stars are ripe with envy. Time to get ready. On your mark, get set, go now, monetize. Pay him off to be on your side. Hack me, baby, I'm tired of wearing many different hats. Outfox me, baby, help me make up my mind. Sculpt me, baby, as I suffer from TikTok dysmorphia. Troll me, baby, if you dare. Am I sucking, caught by deadline, stomping grapevines, death by deadline. On your mark, get set, go now, monetize. I could try to take that leap, but now I'm not so sure. Surely there's some solution we can find. Pay him off to be on your side. Hack me, baby, I'm tired of wearing many different hats. Outfox me, baby, help me make up my mind. Sculpt me, baby, as I suffer from TikTok dysmorphia. Chuck my juice, crack me open from the neck. I just wanna be a puppet.
Hell no.
I could never be a puppet.
No way.
Pay up and tell me what to think. I could never be a puppet. I could never be a puppet.
No way.
I just wanna be a puppet. Pay up and tell me what to think.
Chance.
I could never be a puppet. I just wanna be a puppet.
No way.
I wish I could be more basic. I wish I could be a puppet.
Fat chance.
I could never be a puppet. Thank you so much. Thank you. For those of you in Seattle, our next show is going to be on Thursday at Chop Suey. So we're playing with Cherry Dragon and Pent Up. So if you're open on Thursday, please come and check us out. Thank you.
Keep it going for Kuwaisiana, everybody. And go check them out at Chop Suey this Thursday. All right, friends, have you had a good time with us so far this evening? Yeah? Yes. You learning a little bit about human nature, taking away some morals, having some deep thoughts that you're going to need to ponder over about a 15-minute intermission. where you go outside and face the chilling reality of how cold it is out there, or alternately, you go get yourself a little beverage at the bar, buy some Bushwick Book Club merch, make sure that you have filled out your quiz slip, because we will be playing the very famous Bushwick quiz after intermission, where you can win some of that merch, perhaps, that you're coveting and not sure you want to buy. So you could take your chance, you could, or you could just buy it now. Either way, I think you should fill out the quiz slip and play because it's really fun. So we'll see you in about 15 minutes for some more music inspired by Aesop's Fables. Thanks, everybody.
Here that these steps to your regrets
No. I stalked old Hans every night, hoping she would change her mind, but she didn't. No. What's there to say when a girl don't play her game so fair? Oh. What's there to say when a girl don't play her game so fair? Oh. I lost my head for a while. OD'd on Valium. Ain't that some shit? But I chickened out pretty quick, just like everything. Oh, I must be pretty sick. Then I dropped out of college to pursue some fantasy. I let this girl turn my life around. I was losing me. And what's there to say when a girl don't play her game so fair? And what's there to do when you feel you're born to lose? I left my heart in 1979, just in Inspiration from the page, now translated for the stage. It don't matter what your age is, all the rages, right here at the Bushwick Book Club. Inspiration from
Okay,
the page,
Fable fans, how are we doing?
now translated for the stage. It don't matter what your age.
My name is Wes Weddell. I am Associate Director of Bushwick Northwest. Thank you. Thank you. So good to see all y'all here. So good to hear all these tunes. But it is quiz time. If you have not attended one of these before, after intermission at every show, there is a quiz. Having read the book will not help you. Three of you who filled out the little slip are going to be called up here on stage for a chance to answer questions peripherally related to the topic at hand and win some prizes. So we are all on the same page. That's not the right thing. The thing I'm looking for is, I don't know where it is. There it is. Here's the question you answered on your slip. I want everyone to feel like it's a fair game here. Which of these animals does not appear in any of Aesop's fables? A, ant. B, grasshopper. C, fox. D, jackalope. Yeah, that's correct. D, there is no jackalope to be found in any of Aesop's fables. Sailor, do you have the spittoon? Oh, okay.
I was not given a spittoon,
Jordan
but
has the
now
spittoon.
I have it. Thank you, Jordan. It goes with my outfit, though, so I'm ashamed that I didn't have it for the whole night.
It's really nice. All right. If we call your name, come on up these stairs here. Sailor will meet you, help you write your first name in large letters with Sharpie on an index card for our exceedingly high-tech score system up here. And then we'll go from there. Brian M.
All right. Perfect. Just meet me at those stairs, Brian.
I love it when the person at the table is more excited than the person whose name is on the card. Can't be beat. All right. Liz.
You know, put your name in big letters on that. Perfect.
Okay, that was tepid all around. Hopefully Liz is up to the challenge. Okay. Some of you folded creatively trying to get my finger attention. I understand. Nick M.
Okay, we don't have Liz yet. But we have Brian. Oh, Liz went home. Okay.
Oh, it's that kind of night.
All right, but we do have Nick. Perfect.
All right, Nick M., you just got promoted to contestant number 2. Liz has gone into the night. Katie, with a K and an I-E. All right. Hi, Katie. All right.
There's Brian.
Brian.
Brian on mic 1, yeah.
Everybody's going to be there, but they'll be in order.
Come on over here, Brian.
Perfect. Thank you. All right.
And now it's your turn to write on paper.
Oh, here we go.
The most exciting part of the night.
All right, this is a very simple premise. The quizzes for these are all Category A, Category B. Category A may have something to do with the book. Category B likely does not. I will say a word or a phrase. Love it, thank you. You will answer which you think it is. First to 3 wins.
Do we want to rearrange them?
Well, they just step up when it's your turn, I think, is all that's needed.
All right, great.
Right.
I'm going to stop traffic controlling. You do it.
All right. Thank you. Sailor St. Clair, everybody. Can we get a hand for our host? All right. First to 3 wins, everybody gets there. Tonight's prizes are a Bushwick t-shirt, a Bushwick tote bag, save you the 8 cents plus 1 cent of tax that a bag will cost you at the store. Or tickets to an event that Executive Director Jeff Larson will tell you about right now from the ghostly back of the room.
All right, Wes Weddell, everybody. Give him a big round of applause. First, Quizmaster.
It's a lot of Jeff in the monitors there, Dave.
Associate producer.
Probably don't need any of that.
All right, Dave, how we doing? Oh, we're doing good now. Thank you so much. All right, so the next thing is going to be for a event that Bushwick is partnering with up in Kenmore called the Snowball with the Panda Conspiracy, Buzz Brump, and we're going to be doing some giveaways and promos for all of our Bushwick programs. And it is also a fundraiser for style songwriting through youth literature education. That's our education program where we push into classrooms and teach songwriting using books that students are already reading in the classroom. It's super duper dope. Watching those kids sing those songs is pretty incredible. That is the 3rd prize, Quizmaster.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, contestants, if you didn't hear that, that's fine. You'll win it if you come in 3rd. Here we go. All right, so Brian, you're up first. Tonight's category is Aesop's Fable or Grimm's Fairy Tale. Right, there was some discussions earlier in the night about the difference between them. I'm not going to weigh in on that, but basically I'm going to tell you a title, and it's one or the other. It is an Aesop's Fable or it is a Grimm's Fairy Tale. Brian, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, step right up. The Fox and the Horse.
Aesop's Fable.
Incorrect. That is a Grimm's Fairy Tale. It's all right. Nick, step up. The Fox and the Stork.
Aesop's Fable.
That's correct. Little help from the room. Okay. Katie. The Fox and the Geese.
Grimm.
That's correct. Oh. Okay, thank you. Okay. The Louse and the Flea. It's not over there. The answer is not there. I promise you. I made those slides.
Grimm's Fairy Tale.
That's correct. Nick. The Old Man and His Grandson.
Grimm's Fairy Tale.
That's correct. Yes. Wow. Katie. the bald man, and the fly.
Aesop.
That's correct. Oh my. Okay. Brian. The old woman and the wine jar.
Grimm's fairy tale.
Incorrect. I don't know what the moral is. Yeah. All right. Nick for the win. The fox and the woodman. Or woodman, if you prefer.
Woodman?
Woodman.
Grimm's fairy tale.
No.
Oh.
All right. No pressure, Katie.
0. No.
The mouse and the oyster.
Aesop.
Wow. Okay. All right. Brian and Nick, we're going to keep going because I spent the time I spent on this. Katie, congratulations. You get first pick of the prizes. You can get them at the merch table later. All right. I'm really curious who the room is going to adopt with Katie out of the running. But, okay. The hare and the hedgehog.
Oh. Well, I got to be consistent here because I have absolutely no idea. So I'll go Grimm's fairy tale.
That's correct. The frogs,
Plural.
who desired a king.
I will say Grimm's fairy tale.
You have been led astray. Subtly, but effectively, nonetheless. Brian.
Yes. Grimm's fairy tale.
The wolf and the man. I don't know if it's like the man or just the man, but no, not over there. Still not over there.
I can't go against my method, so I'm just going to go Grimm's fairy tale.
That's correct. All right, Nick, you got to get there honestly. The mouse, the bird, and the sausage.
Ooh, triple.
I've said Grimm's fairy tale every answer. For consistency, Grimm's fairy tale.
The sausage was the giveaway. All right. All right, and audience, one for you. The wonderful musician. Just silence, yeah. Oh. Grimm's fairy tale. How about the drummer? I want to know what the moral of that one would be, but it is Grimm's. Thank you all for playing the Bushwick quiz.
Thank you for playing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to our contestants, Brian and Nick and Katie, who brought her whole fan club tonight, which obviously helped in her win. And can we have one more hand for Quizmaster Wes Weddell, please? Who spends a lot of time on Wikipedia for your amusement at every single one of these shows. All right, I hope you're ready for a few more fables told in song. Everybody still feeling pretty good about their choice to leave their cozy homes and be cozy with us in here instead tonight? Wonderful. Okay, all right. Well, we have another set of Bushwick Book Club first-timers for you tonight. There's a lot of brand new names on the bill this evening, which is very cool, because it's always nice, I think, to welcome new friends to the fold. And in fact, we are about to welcome to the fold Rob Anderson and friends. Rob was the lead singer and songwriter for a now defunct folk apocalypse band called Day Laborers and Petty Intellectuals. It's a fantastic name. And he also plays in a local dad band called Who's Your Daddy? And in fact, all of the friends on stage here tonight are also members of Who's Your Daddy? So playing with Rob tonight is Scott Weissman and Saul Clifasefi. I'm so sorry I murdered your name, but I didn't think to look at it in advance. I apologize, Saul. You can tell me how it's really pronounced or tell everyone how it's pronounced. But in any case, tonight, they are Rob Anderson and friends, and they're going to play a little dad rock for you. So give it up for Rob Anderson and friends.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm Rob. This is Scott. This is Saul. We are three white men. 2 out of 3 of us wear glasses. 2 out of 3 of us are wearing flannel shirts. 2 out of 3 of us are quite a bit taller than average. And
I'm fine. That's fine.
2 out of 3 of us are enormously good looking. I won't tell you which. You have to decide for yourself. I wanted to just, if I can, quickly read the story that inspired this song for a bit of context. It's called The Young Man and the Swallow. A prodigal young spendthrift who had wasted his whole fortune in taverns and gaming houses among lewd and idle company was taking a melancholy walk by a brook. It was in the month of January, and it happened to be one of those warm, sunshiny days which sometimes smile upon us even in that wintry season of the year. And to make it the more flattering, a swallow, which had made its appearance by mistake too soon, flew skimming along upon the surface of the water. The giddy youth, observing this, without further consideration, concluded that summer was now come, and that he should have little or no occasion to wear his winter coat. So he went and pawned it at the broker's, and ventured the money for one more stake among his sharping companions. When this too was gone, the same way with the rest, he was impoverished. He had nothing left. He took another solitary walk in the same place as before. But the weather being severe and frosty had made everything look with an aspect very different from what it did before. The brook was quite frozen over, and the poor swallow lay dead or dying upon the banks of it, the very sight of which cooled the young spark's brains, and coming to a kind of sense of his misery, he reproached the bird as the author of all his misfortunes. "Ah, wretch that thou wert," says he, "thou hast undone both thyself and me, who was so credulous as to depend on thee." And in some versions of the story, it's the dying swallow that speaks back to him, or perhaps it's the all-knowing narrator that Aesop tends to employ, who offers us the lesson of the story, which is, one swallow does not make a summer. So it's not a very cheery or uplifting story, is it? But I took some inspiration from that, but I also took a little bit of inspiration from another song that's also about swallows, and I wanted to share that as well, which is a song you might have heard. When the swallows come back to Capistrano, that's the day that you promised to come back to me. So if you know that song, you might spot a little bit of borrowing that I did from that song in the song that we're about to play. But that song offers a little bit more of an optimistic take on what it means when the swallows return. It means genuinely there that spring has come. And what's more than that, it means actually that true love is returning and that hope is with us again. So I wanted to write a song about that kind of moment of uncertainty, when you're looking for a sign or a signal. And so this song, I think it falls somewhere kind of in between the darkness and the tragedy of Aesop's version, and on the other hand, the optimism of the swallows coming back to Capistrano. Because I thought that, Aesop's narrator, he's really got it figured out, right? Like, he knows how things are, and he knows what the right way to do things is, and he doesn't mind telling us so. But I actually wanted to write a song that grapples a little bit more with the ambiguity. And so it's a song that leaves a little bit more room for some questions, like, how do we know if spring is coming? How do we know if true love is returning? Or how do we know if it's the right moment to take a chance? So this is this is One Swallow Does Not Make a Summer. When I was a young man, I traded everything I had for the thrill of the dice in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when I had nothing left but a scrap of my dignity, a man with any sense would have known to hold on to what little I had. But not me. I danced on the balconies in the hours approaching totality. I scoffed at piety and sobriety. I laughed in the face of uncertainty till one winter's day, when a swallow flew by, did I say, spring is coming today. Deal the cards, roll the dice. Fate is with me tonight. Let us play, boys. Let us play. Was a young man. Did I take you for granted then? Did I not know how lucky I am? And when I had nothing left but a scrap of my legacy, a man with any sense would have known to keep reaching out for your hand, but not me. For the galaxy tried to bring it all back with me. You may call it vanity, profanity, temporary insanity. But can't you see that when you stand next to me, the static electricity is almost too much for me to stand? Take my hand, and together we will deny our complicity, coin our own currency, destroy all our enemies, draw a line in the sand, because it's so clear to me we were made for each other. But one swallow does not make a summer. Now that you see me there on the floor shivering, do you wish you had never laid eyes on me? Do you think it is better to love and lose or marry and yearn? But when I had nothing left but a scrap of the universe. That's when I had everything. And the universe waits for its turn till one winter's day. When a swallow flies by, will I say, spring is coming today. Deal the cards, roll the dice. Fate is with me tonight. Let us play, boys, let us play. And all the mission bells will ring, and the chapel choir will sing. And the happiness you'll bring lives on in my memory. Thank you.
Rob Anderson!
Keep it going for Rob Anderson and friends. I don't know how many members of Who's Your Daddy there are overall, 5. So thank you for 3/5 of Who's Your Daddy for rocking out with us tonight. So great to have so many first-timers on the bill tonight. There are a few more coming up for you, but I also wanted to take a minute to say that we have a number of partnerships here through Bushwick Book Club. So in addition to the monthly programming where that is the standard, there is a book, cool people come and make cool music in ode to that book. There are also some partnerships that we have with Seattle Arts and Lectures, and particularly their poetry series is coming up on March 4th. You can read about that right over there. So this is a great partnership event that's happening at Rainier Arts Center, focusing on the poetry of Roger Reeves and Anastasia Renee, who has read here before, so you may have seen some of her work. She's also a former civic poet of Seattle. And then music by Amber Flame. So if you particularly like poetry, if the novel is not your thing and you're like, poetry is my jam, that's the event for you. So you can always go to the Bushwick Book Club website, check that out. You can get tickets to everything. And now we have another first-timer coming to the stage tonight. It's always great to be able to welcome artists from different disciplines, which is why we like to work with poets and why they like to invite me, a burlesque performer, to sometimes come and speak words at you on a microphone. But it's also great to welcome new folks from outside of Seattle to come and play with us here. And our next artist tonight is a recent transplant from the San Francisco Bay Area, so we have that in common, although I've been here for a real long time. And she is a lover of the in-depth craft of songwriting, pulls a lot of inspiration from folk and blues, so you're going to get the chance to hear that from her tonight. So without further ado, please give it up for another new member of our roster, Leah Walters.
Hello. Hi. I am also a millennial, mostly white woman, wearing a heavily embroidered skirt this evening. I also chose the dog and the wolf, and Kat told you the story earlier. I blindly picked this piece. I didn't know the story behind it, and then once I read it, it really resonated with me. As a performing artist, kind of coming out of the pandemic as a musician and shutting down that part of myself for a really long time to survive the pandemic and trying to take off the golden handcuffs. So I also wore a gold chain tonight to represent that. I decided to take a spin on this story of the dog returning to the wood and remembering that time of freedom that it's not autobiographical, okay, that they had experienced earlier in their life and how to get back to it. So this is called Return to the Wolf. darkening sky. In the woods I see eyes. I know they might be my own. Oh, night, what's the cost of freedom? This feeling from long ago. Have that many stars been up there all along? Was I too scared to hear their song? Eyes, I know they might be my own. Oh, night, what's the cost of freedom? This feeling from long ago.
Thank you.
Keep it going for Leah Walters, everybody. Another great Bushwick debut tonight. So as you might have heard in a lot of my intros, a common theme is that many of the performers that you're seeing tonight also happen to be music educators. And that's a really important part of Bushwick Book Club's mission, or Bushwick Northwest's overall mission. So I want to tell you a little bit about the STYLE program. STYLE stands for Songwriting Through Youth Literature Education. And this is a program where teaching artists, many of them are people you've seen on this stage tonight, some of whom are probably also out in the audience, who go into elementary schools in the greater Seattle area. They work with a book that kids are already reading and perform the method that you're hearing tonight. They work with them to craft a brand new song inspired by what they've just read. It's very, very cool. There's like pre-made beats, and then the kids like make melodies and like create lyrics. It's a really wonderful program. And they're in about 8 schools right now. And so when you are supporting Bushwick Book Club, that is one of the things that you are supporting. And one of the best ways that you can support this organization, Bushwick Northwest, other than coming to these shows, is you can become a member. You can find out a little bit more about that at the merch table. You can also scan that QR code. As you are probably aware, it costs a lot to make art. Paying artists and paying teaching artists is a really important part of creating a thriving arts economy here in this city. And so when you become a sustaining member, that means you're giving just a little bit every month instead of giving a lot all at once at, say, a fundraiser that might be coming up in the spring. And that helps support all of these great programs year-round. So we want to really encourage you to become a sustaining member. You also get some cool stuff, like cute pins and bookmarks and mugs and things. So if that's important to you, to be able to drink your morning coffee out of a mug that says, "I read books and sing," then this is probably a great way to do that. So you can scan that QR code. You can talk to any of the Bushwick staff, and they'll tell you a little bit about how to become a member. But I would really encourage you to do that if you're having a great time with us tonight, which I know you are, by the way. I know you are. Thank you for that reinforcement, because the people at home need to hear it. They need to be reminded that we're all able to be together, even if we're a little far apart. So the music education aspect of what Bushwick does, as I mentioned, is really important because that is how we create the next generation of musicians and readers. And right now, we are about to welcome to the stage a young musician. This is her first time on the Bushwick stage, so this is our final debut of the night. It's not our final artist, but our final first-timer. She is 15 years old, and she likes rock music and guitar. So I would like you to give a really rousing welcome to our new artist, Asha Neely, everybody.
My name is Asha Neely. I have messy brown hair. I'm dressed in all green, and someone said I looked like an olive. So, I chose The Boy Who Cried Wolf, which is a fable about a boy who tricks his whole village until they stop believing him. It inspired me because I think dishonesty is a pretty big theme in my life, and I found that as I grow up, I've watched my peers grow up, and I feel like they've really resorted to some forms of security, like lying to protect themselves, which normally don't end so well. So, thank you. Black and blue, just so I can feel something new. Twist me from the inside out until I scream and shout. I see light in your cloudy sky. I wanna know why you lie. Ah! Tangled, dirty hair, she is everywhere. I don't know how it begins, her weird world within. I see stars in her dark night sky. I now know why you lie. To make new friends again, 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 again. So lie to them again, 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 again. So make new friends again. Lie and lie to them. So make new friends again, 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 again. See your broken bloody knees, please, please, please. From your sworn dignity, yeah, yeah, yeah. Scabbed in stone, you're on your own. I won't be there while you weep. I'll be at peace. So why would I care? Yeah. that say Nirvana on it? Oh my God.
Asha Neely, everybody, who also brought a fan club. That's what we all need. Can you, are you an entourage for hire? Yes? Okay, so other Bushwick musicians, go see these people if you would like them to come and scream at your gigs. They will do it. Maybe for some comps and a few cupcakes. I don't know. You guys work out your rate. Okay, great. Cupcakes, they're in. Okay, perfect. Sounds good. All right, everybody. We've got one more artist for the end of our evening tonight. And you've actually already heard her music a little bit. Yes, I think that's correct. You've already heard her music a couple of times because she wrote the Bushwick theme song. So, here to bring us home this evening, I would like to welcome to the stage Julia Massey. She's been writing songs most of her life. She's been inspired by the morals and ideas found in Aesop's Fables, and she's going to pay homage tonight to that influence. So, let's please bring out Julia Massey, everybody.
Thank you. Oh. I think I'm getting the entourage for free tonight, and I'm feeling mightily special about that. Wow, I am so happy to be at a Bushwick Book Club again. This is one of my happy places. I am a freckle-faced, strawberry blonde, pale person who is wearing a myriad of layers because I'm in Seattle during an Arctic freeze, which include a cashmere maroon underlayer here. I've got some lace and floral overlay, and then a vintage jacket that I wear to sleep sometimes because it's very comfortable. The reason that I am so excited about this particular song is because it comes from an Aesop fable that I grew up with. My folks are actually in the audience tonight. They flew out from Maryland yesterday on a plane with really tight screws. And I'm so happy that they're here because I was read these fables growing up. And the one that jumped out at me that I knew I had to do was City Mouse, Country Mouse. Now, I've always identified as a city mouse, but I have lived in the country, and I have fond memories of the country mousedom. But I am in the city also for a reason. But I have to say that when I read this book, Aesop is pretty biased here towards, I'll let you decide who he's biased towards by the end here. So this is the country mouse and the city mouse. Annie Mouse lived quietly in the country. One day her friend from the city came to visit her. Annie was delighted. "Melissa, dear, welcome to the country," she said. "Do come in." Annie Mouse asked some friends in for lunch. But Melissa did not eat one nibble of the meal Annie proudly served. "In the city I dine on spice cake and wine," said the city mouse, rather grandly. "In the city I have a machine that plays music and I dance on a velvet carpet," said Melissa. I would have added that I go to Bushwick Book Club at Town Hall sometimes, but that's just me. "Oh, Annie, won't you leave this dull country life behind and come to the city with me?" "My, it does sound tempting," said Annie. So Annie rode off to the city with her friend. "Honk, honk, beep, beep, toot, toot." "Please drive slowly," begged Annie. "Can't hear a word," screamed Melissa. "Isn't it marvelous fun?" Melissa's home in the city was beautiful and such fun to explore. Gaily they raced down the hall. Suddenly, oof! Barked a fierce, angry voice. "Help, it's the dog," squeaked Melissa. And the two friends ran, shaking with fright. They slammed the dining room door just in time. The poor country mouse almost fainted with fear. But Melissa said, "Oh, he chases me all the time. Come, Annie, climb up on the table beside me. Have you ever seen such food?" "Never," gasped Annie, still shaking with fright. There were dainty bits of spice cake and fine cheese, and even a drop of wine in the glasses. "Oh, I am seeing things," squeaked Annie. "Oh, I see a cat!" "Uh-oh. It is a cat," cried Melissa. "Run, run!" They slammed the living room door just in time. Oh, sobbed Annie. I have never been so frightened. Nonsense, you'll get used to it, said Melissa. There, I put on the music machine. Would you care to dance? Slow down, Melissa. Suddenly, the door flew open and there was a fearful noise. Boo. It's the vacuum cleaner, shrieked Melissa. Hold on tight to that curtain, Annie. Hold tight or the vacuum will gobble you right up. At last, the dreadful machine left, and the country mouse began to run. Annie, where are you going? Called Melissa. Home to the country, squeaked Annie. Goodbye, Melissa. Thank you for the very nice time. Oh, help. Oh. The little mouse ran through the city. She ran and ran and ran. And she did not stop until she was safe in the quiet green country. That night she told her gentle friends, I would rather lead a simple life than dine on riches and live in fear. That concludes the story part of this presentation. Thank you, Aesop. I think we can all draw the same conclusion, which is that the city mouse is evil and the country mouse is pious from that. Now, I have to tell you that for me, I've always felt that I want to walk the middle way. So that means that people who are on either side, who are extremists, sometimes only see their enemy behind you. And I think that the country mouse feels that way about the city mouse, and the city mouse feels that way about the country mouse. Well, a couple of weeks ago, some rodents in my city environment decided that they wanted to move into my city home. They were not mice, but they were squirrels. So I'm going to go with this here, okay? So we noticed there was some scratching. They had gone through this one little tiny hole that we didn't even know existed just above the gutter. And our neighbors across the street, who are 4 years old and 6 years old, sounded the alarms right away. There's a squirrels going in your house! And what ended up ensuing was we had a series of things that we wanted to be, I guess it's not humane, it's squirrel-ane friendly. We didn't want to harm these squirrels, but we also didn't feel like it was fair to us or to them to cohabitate. So through a series of trial and errors, including spraying some putrescent egg spray, which my partner said smelled horrendous, but I admit to you, I thought it smelled kind of great, and I was hungry when I smelled the stench. I'm not afraid to admit that at Bushwick Book Club. We got the squirrels out. But now, as you know, it was a couple weeks ago that this occurred. We have had an Arctic freeze settle here into the Pacific Northwest. And yesterday, they used their little squirrel teeth and they pulled out all the chicken wire and they choked down the rotten egg stench, and they're back in, folks. And here's the middle way and the in-between that I want to take with these squirrels. You all have until it warms up. Okay? Like, I get it. You are going to freeze to death. But as soon as those rains come back and that cloud comes back, it's on. The egg spray is coming for you, and it's actually good for all of us. So my whole sense of this is I'm meeting the squirrels in between. And that's what I wish that the city mice and country mice of the United States and this world could do more of. So that's what this song's about. It's called In Between. Country mouse loves her house, eats whole foods, feels good moods. But when she's out in the city, things aren't so pretty, so she must announce. Yeah, when she's out in the city, things aren't so pretty, so she must announce. Oh, leave me
aside, that is how you say city mouse in ancient Greek. So it will rhyme, but Polymees means that. Loves to feast. Does the dance runs from cats? But when she's out in the country, she'll be missing her sundries, so she must retreat. But what if country and city had a brand new committee? Where would they meet? In between, in between, in between, in between. Stop the press. Aesop rest. 'Cause all the mice are forgiven. Country city keep living, living for the best. Yeah, all the mice are forgiven. Country city living for the best. Everyone stay warm. Stay warm. Thank you, Bushwick Book Club. I love you.
Julia Massey, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out and joining us tonight here for Bushwick Book Club. I hope you all have had a really fantastic time meeting and listening to the wisdom of all of these musicians. So I would like to invite you to say thanks to all of them, and I also want to say thanks to all of the people who make this show possible. I don't know if you knew this, but wow, a lot of people have to do work for live performances to happen. So that's another great reason to be a member, so you can support all of the work that they do. So I'm just going to say the names of all of the artists who were here on stage, and you can just keep that applause going for all of them as we roll through all of their names. So let's say thanks to the Go Janes, to Nessa Grasing, Kat Bula, Kuwaisiana, Rob Anderson and friends, Leah Walters, Asha Neely, and Julia Massey. Thank you to all of our artists for sharing their talents tonight. We also want to say thanks to our front of house sound, which is Dave, our live stream techs, Evan and Jason, who are in a totally different room. They're not even out here. They're working in secret behind that curtain back there. Thanks also to Julia for writing and performing the Bushwick theme song. Once again, to Barbie Statman for the really amazing art, which I hope some of you chose to take home with you. I want to thank our Bushwick production team for putting these events on. That's Jeff Larson, the executive director, Carrie Garvin, Gisela Casa Madrid, Drea Maryland, Emily Persha, and Wes Weddell. Thank you to Jordan also for helping out and volunteering tonight. She's another member of the Bushwick crew. Thanks to our photographer, Brad Coulter, for taking nice photos. And all of the town hall staff who graciously invite us to be in their space. So thank you to Danielle, our house manager, James at the bar, Colin at the door, Shannon, Sarah, and Claire. Thank you all for helping us. And thank all of you for being here tonight. My name is Sailor St. Clair. It is my pleasure to come down and talk about books and music with all of you on occasion. Thank you for having me. Have a good night and get home safe and stay warm, everybody.
Inspiration from the page, now translated for the stage. It don't matter what your age is.
book club.